And here we are with week 4 of your Overwatch UAA Esports team coming at it again up against UAESA Vera, also known as the University of Alberta, as I'm sure. Is already starting off quick with the fight. Kaiser's going to fall. That's the Sojourn down. As we saw last week, Sojourn was one of the characters that we were seeing getting first blooded a lot in this affair. But already starting off on one of our favorite, Lijiang Tower. It's going to be UAA taking the point fairly quickly up against this Junk Rat from our side. Laying down traps, not able to find the picks needed, but that Orisa is going to be charging in fairly quickly with no backup around it. Spear's going to come in for the backup, and the Mei is going to take out our Junkrat, but Star Chicken in response. Heals are still coming through fairly quickly, and they're just going to have to stay with a little bit of a reset here before Lord gets booped off the map. Star Chicken looking to try to find any sort of refrag. Gets the pick under the Juno. That's going to be a huge pick, as both of our supports are still alive. Kiriko and Juno. Suzu comes out. We're still looking to try to face off against this Mei. Maywall's going to come through, but a double pick from Star Chicken and Artemis are able to come through as well. Artemis making their debut into the team after Lance Striker's departure. Apologies so far for the camera work. There we go. We found it, ladies and gents. We know how to get to people. UAESA Vera struggling a little bit to try to get their footing down, but luckily for us on UAA, we're able to dodge the Mail for the time being, but Etho is going to be the first one to fall. Terrera is going to come out from the side of the Orisa, but it's not going to do much, as Smoke is just going to have to try dip, bob, and weave her way out of this affair. Try to stay for as long as possible, but looks like 69%. What a number that UAA is going to be stopping at for this time around. I actually have no clue how to switch team members. TV is going to come out from the side of Lord, allowing them to get back onto the point. Orbital strike from both teams is going to come through, or actually just our team from the side of UAA. Is able to get 2 picks in response, but 3 from the side of UAA Severa. And that's the 4th, and unfortunately UAA is going to fall again, investing pretty heavily into that push with both support ults as well as the Symmetra wall. Unfortunately, not going to land us or garner us any fruit, but we still do have the Junkrat tire swapping off to the Cass, as well as the Junker Queen ult. So if used to perfection, we should be able to try to take this, but we really got to be careful of that Lucio ult. If mistimed, then could definitely prove a little bit hasty here. Unfortunately, Artemis not going to be able to find anything with the Rip Tower. Is also going to fall as well. Not looking to engage with this ult just of yet. Before it does come through, it is able to hit the Lucio, so no beat is going to be in play. Even if it was, that beat would have been canceled by the anti-heal. Looking for that Mei, as all cooldowns are going to be taken down as well. Etho trying to look to secure the kill, but those heals from the Juno is just a little bit too much. And before Lord checks the clock, it is not high noon just yet, but it is looking dire in time for that Mei to fall. Now last push coming in from the Vera. As UAA ticking out with only 94% left, seeing that they have to push straight on in. They do have the beat to enter in with, as well as the Orisa ult to try to sustain. Etho's going to be chasing down these supports as to pull out the rest of the members, but the backline is just getting terrorized right now from the side of UAC Vera. Etho trying to do what he can to try to land it, and honestly, if anything, that Orisa ult coming through is actually kind of a big win here, as the only ult coming up right now are the both of Mei and Juno. And on our side, we do have a couple of ults building on our own. If Kiri's able to get this ult here, then this could prove a very useful and very fruitious, if that's even a word, for the side of UAA, if they're able to get onto this point. Etho also coming up close on his ult, but it looks like we're only going to be having the orbital strike as well as High Noon. High Noon looking to try to get popped. Maywall's going to come through, but UAA does get the touch. First blood, doesn't even know who it's going to go to. High Noon not able to find any picks, but Artemis is going to start things off. That's the DPS for 1. And then Mei is going to trade it out for another DPS. Etho trying to find the last final blow into this Juno, but not able to find it. Orbital Strike's going to come through to complete the sustain. Duck able to keep going further. Etho finally completes his ult, able to get it down on multiple members. The Junkrat's able to get the touch, and it's able to just clear the point after this Juno falls. The undefeated UAESA Vera, is going to lose map 1 on Lijiang Tower. Huge start from the side of UAA. We saw this last week on the undefeated PVCC Pumas. So hopefully UAA is able to complete their dominance and continue onto this next map of Lijiang. Looks like we're going to Market, or actually, no, this is not Market. I don't even know which one this is. I've been out of the game for a little bit. This is the one with the 2 bridges, ladies and gentlemen. No swaps from the side of UAA for now. We did see Lord swap onto that Cassidy, but it looks like we're just gonna go for this really strong brawl. I really like the look that UAA is giving. Not really going for the more so split types of pushes that we've seen in the past. Really playing to the strengths of just raw, strong, up close gunfights. And from the side of UAESA Vera, looks like they're going to be swapping to a more long-range battles with that Maga and the Farah. So this poke's definitely going to be pretty scary from the side. If you are a UAA fan, which I hope you are if you're stopping by the stream, as we just saw right there, Kaiser's going to be taking out Artemis. It's going to be the first pick going into this fight. May is also going to fall, and I can already predict that we're going to be seeing a very quick cast swap from the side of Lord to take out this Farah. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Soldier 76 coming out as well, but from the side of Artemis, but we definitely need something to combat against that Farah and the long range that they are dealing. This Maga is definitely going to be proven to be a bit of a problem. I wasn't surprised to see a Ana swap, as we did see last week. The Ana from Smokey was actually kind of huge, unless I got my teams mixed up. Suzu is going to have to come out, so that will stall our engagement for now. Waiting for the cooldown to come through, and unfortunately Artemis is going to get taken out. That far range is just a little bit too hasty for the side of our Junkrat. Maywall is going to cut things off. Dagger comes through to heal for the time being, but Knife comes through as well. Beautiful time from Etho to able to cut down the wings of the Farah. Maga is getting quite antsy, however. Ring comes out from both teams, push them both away. Knife comes through. The bleeding is able to deal enough damage, but unfortunately Juno's going to get caught out by the May. Not going to do any more than just that. Maga with the healing bullets and the Cage able to come through. Cage just dropped. It is only going to catch Etho and the couple of rest of the members, as Artemis actually jumps in, gets into the fight. Lord's able to get one of his own. The Pharaoh comes through though, and it's able to just shut down everything. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to figure out exactly how to spectate other people, because I would like to spectate people. But I actually have no clue how. So it looks like we have arrows. We do have arrows, so we're just going to use the arrow keys. Ring comes in and followed up by the Etho ult. It's going to be responded by a beat that is going to extend their health, but not necessarily heal them for the time being. May ult is going to be used in response, however, and that's going to completely just shut down UAA. And I mean, we just couldn't get our foot in the mud, or however the saying goes, for this map. But that was really well played from UAESA Vera, as they had some good responses to exactly how to counter our comp. And I mean, I was really digging how we were playing the strong close-up brawl. But I mean, comps like this, where it's just forcing you to play from the poke, play from the long range, even though Maga is not necessarily a poke tank per se. I mean, he's more of a flex. You can kind of play him in multiple areas, but just how he's playing right now, it's really just poking out UAA's range, as we don't really have much of it. But now swapping on to that signature Ashe character, it's going to really rely on Lord and Duck, of all people, to really just land those hits onto their healers, as well as the Farah. Dynamite comes through. It's able to deal quite a bit of damage. Artemis trying to look for any sort of damage to build that ult. Maywall is going to be used, so it does allow the rest of our team to engage through. After the Maywall comes through, that's going to be the Maga caught in the trap. Beautiful trap from the side of Artemis. That's going to get the first pick. Huge pick, nonetheless, as the Maga was the main one doing a lot of the damage. Soaking up all that damage for the Farah that is in the backlines right now to deal quite a bit of help. UAA is going to cap the point first, though. Really nice sights. But we're going to have to see a little bit of aggression here, as the team is split up. Nice dagger from the side of Duck to get a little bit of a refrag. Ring's going to come through to try to disengage from this fight, as we do not want to be in this anymore. Lord on the back ends is trying to fight as much as possible. No ults are still coming through yet as they're building up. Mei is going to get shot down from the side of the Koshka, though. So that at least gives up the advantage for the time being, as the cooldown from the death of Mei is going to be building. Off the back of the Junkrat, or the Junker Queen and the Ring, we're going to be going through. Looking for any more to picks, and just because it's a 4v5, the raw damage from that Mei is not here. No walls, no Ice Cube. This is going to be a very, very handed fight for the side of UAA. However, UAESA Vera does a really good job at repositioning to knock Lord off that height. Beat's going to come through. Or not just yet, actually. It was just the healing bullets. Lord able to take out one of the healers after the tank falls, but those 2 picks are just enough to push UAA off this hill, and this game is just going back and forth. As very similar to the first one, as we saw both teams going back and forth on both sides, but not really able to secure it. That second map looked a little bit more one-sided, but this third one, if UAA is able to hold on and try to win these ult fights without using too much, but also pulling a lot from the enemy team, this could be massive. Bob's going to go through to start things off. Followed up by the Earth Ring. There's going to be taken out, unfortunately. Bob not able to do anything else. Is going to be Lord that goes through. Juno Ring from the opposite team comes through, and I mean, just like that, you just got to call, make sure that you're not using any more ults. And I like that from the side of UAA. Unfortunately, a Bob for a Juno Ring. I mean, I don't really know how strong Juno Ring is nowadays, but I mean, I would take that for a win. Bob for Juno. But you still have that beat that you have to deal with. And with 70%, this is going to be looking like one of the last fights if we're not able to win it. Unfortunately, Lord's going to fall. But Lucio is going to fall as well. Kaiser, however, isn't able to get just 2 off the back of the Mei ult combined with the cage. And this is looking like dire straits for the side of UAA. They're going to have to fall as quick as possible before they're able to get up and get a footing for this next push. Ethos swapping off to the Wrecking Ball. And that's unfortunate because he did have his Junker Queen ult. Lord with beautiful shots to take out the wings of the Pharah. But UAA still has to touch. On point is going to be Star Chicken, however. Etho off the back of the Kitsune Rush. Looking to try to combat and try to get their foot into this game. But the players are falling one by one. This is not looking good for UAA, as Maga is just absolutely ripping people to shreds. Etho trying to do as much as he can to keep the percentage alive as well as deal as much damage. But the balloon goes pop. And unfortunately, after a strong map 1, UAESA Vera is going to take map 1 in Lijiang Tower. Strong round. It's just the swap to that Pharah definitely proved a little bit hasty. Hopefully UAA is able to respond going into map 2. I had no clue that Pharah could move during her ult. But we'll see you in map 2, ladies and gentlemen. back, getting into this game. Let's get onto the UAA side. It's going to be King's Row. Apologies for us being in mid-match. Got a little bit of a technical difficulty, but we're getting that sorted as our game goes on. Love to see the UAESA being played from the side of Etho, other than the Ramatras and the Junker Queen that we're so used to. Healers, however, are going to have to try to help him as much as possible, as that Farah is just pecking him from above, and May's going to get the final blow. Mercy actually gets the heal off, or gets the res off, rather, but is going to fall because of it. A little bit of a Juno Mercy action here, as Juno's going to have to try to get out of the fray, but catches a spear straight to the head. Artemis is going to try to mirror that Farah, as we have a little bit of a Farah Mercy going on, but unfortunately not able to find too much success so far. Hoping we can get some action going. If you guys are just now tuning in, last week we did not have perks activated, but I believe this week that they are, so it's going to be exciting to see exactly how those play a part into our matches today. Lord almost catches a stray, or rather he does, to the face, but doesn't exactly deal the final blow. Nice damage from the top from the side of Artemis, able to nearly take out the Lucio, but that Orisa ult is going to bring him in and unfortunately take her out. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, UAA trying to figure out exactly how they can get onto this point. Slowly built some ultimates, as Orisa just used theirs, but it's really hard to see exactly what you're going to be entering with. I mean, you could try to use and combo the Farah ult alongside the Orisa ult. That would be nice to try to combo. But it looks like they're not going to have it in time. And unfortunately, although Etho was able to pull in the remaining members of UAESA, Vera, it just wasn't in time for them to do anything with it. And this is looking very rough so far for the side of UAA, but swaps come in. We did have Lord swap a little bit earlier on to that Ashe, and now we're going to be seeing a Zarya being played. Golden Gun from the side of Etho. A little bit of a flex to try to deal as much damage as possible to get that bubble up to 100%. It is going to stay at 90 so far with no bubbles in hand as the Mei ult comes through. Suzu beautifully timed from the side of Duck, as she also swapped it back off of that Mercy onto the Kiri. Lord is going to be the first blood. However, this Mei walls are just separating Etho from the rest of the team as much as possible. Smokey's going to fall, and unfortunately UA just hasn't had a chance to really have a true 5-player hit. It's just little by little. Once the next player comes through off respawn, the next one dies. UAESA Vera just has a really strong poke here. Combo with that Farah and the Orisa spears. Ring's going to come through, but it gets blocked fairly easily. Bob and Farah ult get utilized, but it's not able to find a pick. Star Chicken's going to take things in his own hands as he gets the pick onto the Orisa. Huge pick as they're able to keep pushing further. Star Chicken with 100% charges just keep rolling. Beautiful tracking from the side, but the Ring's going to take them out. Regardless, however, some really nice pickings for the side of the UAA's tank. A really nice push to break through the wall that they're facing. It's going to bring out some swaps off the Orisa onto the Ramatra to try to combat a little bit against this Zarya, as we've seen. Overwatch, known for its tank swap meta. And we're going to be seeing a little bit more of it, but Etho playing really well around these tanks is going to force out that Juno ult. And even though that he died there, I mean, it's a really awkward place to be using a Juno ult there, so for them to get control of that corner makes sense, but I mean, all for naught. You really just pulled a support ult, so this could work fairly well. They still do have beaten hands, so it's going to be a little bit scary if Etho tries to use this Graviton. Male comes through very aggressively. They're just absolutely using these ults. Farah ult comes through and just walks it down on top of the Etho. They're going to be forced to back up here. can't check the scoreboard, unfortunately. But let's just imagine that we're sitting all at 50 elims and 10,000 healing. Kitsune Rush is going to come through without Smokey alive. It's going to be a little bit questionable, but the Maywall is going to come through. No B has been used until now. Huge amounts of damage are going to be utilized here. Suzu comes through to take out the remaining members. That's going to be Mei and Ramacha falling, but the Pharah from above is still dealing damage. Lucio is going to fall, so that at least gives UAA some breathing room. Beautiful tracking from the side of Etho is also able to secure the kill, so now UAA has some time to breathe. Get some stress off their shoulders, take a deep breath, and get around this corner and try to plan exactly how they're going to go into this next fight. We got Orbital Strike coming in through, and we already have Bob in hand. Not really many responding ults from the side of UAESA Vera that are going to come through, except for that Ramatra ult, but it's not really going to do much against the ones that we have in hand, unless Sito falls. However, that's a little unfortunate. Ramatra is also doing a lot of damage. He's going to be forcing out the ult. Bob comes through as well, but it's going to be quickly taken out by the side of Mei. Lord trying to find any sort of advantage with the height that he can with the Koshka, but that far is just pecking him down, and he's going to be the last one remaining for the side of UAA, and we are in overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Etho rushing as far as possible before he can touch. He's able to get the 1% off, but the Orbital Strike from the other side is able to keep them alive as well. Etho's dancing with the devil, trying to stay alive for his team to get any sort of reinforcements, but nobody is in sight. And unfortunately, we're not just able to push it up too far, but we still have a whole other half of Overwatch to be played, so this definitely could keep going. So hopefully we're able to continue this. Apologies for the technical difficulty once we get this sorted. Oh, there we go. Just waiting for the next half of play. As we have a beautiful match of Kings Row. I'm actually surprised with how many times we're playing Kings Row. I mean, every match seems fairly the same. It looks like we play Lijiang Tower and then go straight into Kings Row. Who doesn't like a good Kings Row, though? Let me try to be like one of those cinematic people. Whoa. Wait, I'm actually cooking. Yo, W cam work from your boy AK Coda here. As we get off into this next match, it looks like we have a very interesting comp, bringing out the Bastion of all things. And unfortunately, they're blind countering with the Sombra. So definitely could be a bit useful for their side. Suzu's going to come out a little bit early, but it was to counter the anti-heal of the of the Ana. I was like, who has the Ana? Unfortunately, the hook. What a blind counter from the side of UAESA Vera. Using the Sombra and the hook, and it just completely counters our Bastion. Gets the hack, gets the hook, and even despite all of that, of what I'm saying, I'm just yapping at this point because UAA is holding their ground fairly well. Etho, rather, is able to find some really crucial picks. Hopefully they're able to find the Sombra in the back lines, but they're not able to do so for the time being. Very nice dance moves from the side of Etho to continue to push them off this wall. Sombra is going to be caught out by the side of Lord, but he's not able to find it. Etho is going to be down as well in the front lines. And unfortunately, UAA is probably going to have to chalk this one up. Unless they're able to try to speed Etho in, but with the utility at hand, it doesn't look like they're able to do so. Maybe? If Lord's able to touch? No, he just pops. Absolutely gets slapped. And UAC Vera, with 5 minutes remaining, they have a very short ways to go. So hopefully UAA is able to build up these ults and try to get any motion going for their team. Lord, unfortunately, is going to try to find, with only 2 health remaining, trying to look for that big pack. But it is going to be hacked by the side of Sombra. Looking to try to get a little bit of an ult push here. Nano's going to come out from the side of the Roadhog, met by the ult. Spear's going to be trying to spinning to try to combat the bullets that are flying in, but as Roadhog pushes him away, he brings him right back. Etho's going to fall first. Moira uses the Coalescence to try to get out, or the Fade rather, early on with the Coalescence, but not able to dance and deal around to try to live for as long as possible. And we only got like a few seconds of life remaining, ladies and gentlemen. All ults in pocket. Kitsune not able to get there in time. And, I mean, just like that, you blink and you miss it. Unfortunately, UAA is going to fall for map 2 as well. Hopefully looking to strike back. But, unfortunately, King's Row is just not looking like a strong map for us. But Etho is able to get that play of the game with some very nice plays, despite the Lucio ult that was used. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be seeing you in map 3, hopefully, to get a reverse sweep comeback. now, after some horrible guessing. It's going to be Winston comp. It's going to be very interesting to see how we are going here. Farah still, we're going to be mirrored, even though not mirrored exactly this time, as we are up against a Venture and Sombra. UAA, unfortunately, is down 2-0 in this affair, and is going to need a reverse sweep to try to make any sort of magic happen. UAC Vera is a very formidable team, though, so do not be dissuaded, as they are undefeated. Unfortunately, UAA is 2-1 this season, but still very strong team regardless, sitting at number 3 in the placings so far. But going into this game in particular, unfortunately not that strong of a start, as the Winston, although a very formidable pick, is just not going to be the one needed up against a Roadhog. Early swaps are already coming through. Lord swapping onto the Reaper alongside the Junker Queen. So we do have some elements of poke with Kiri and Farah, but a lot of our brawl is going to be met with Juno, Junker Queen, and this Reaper already going fast alongside the Ring. Fade is going to come through, but not going to be used too much as the reloads are coming through. Suzu is going to be used on the side of UAA, and it's going to push back UAC Vera quite a bit. Very strong shotguns being used from the side of the Reaper and the Junker Queen from Etho and Lord. Somber hacks come through, and they're just cutting the wings little by little, but she's not going to be able to get away. No TP in hand. And the next one in the eyes of UAA is going to be that Lucio. He's going to fall next. Suzu comes through. Duck's able to find one alongside Smokey. Both supports getting some play, and now Lord's chasing down this Roadhog with the knife, with the slash. They're able to get the pick. Venture on the back end, though, is able to 1v1 Duck, gets the pick. Burrow comes through from the side of Venture, but looks like UAA might be able to track her down before the reinforcements come through, but that's not going to be exactly seen. It does get me a little scared seeing these red health bars. So just know that the red team is our team, not the enemy, if you are cheering for UAA. Unfortunately, dropping down 2-0, as I said earlier. Map 1 to Lijiang and map 2 onto that King's Row. Looking to try to get their third one, unfortunately, is not going to be into this fight, as we did see a little bit of an ult push there coming from the Juno ult. TP and Suzu come through, and Lord and Duck are able to get out of dodge. It's going to be 5 ults in the bank for UAA going into this next fight. Unfortunately, Suzu's Lord just needs to get out. Please. He's just bobbing and weaving, but just taking too much damage. Next one in line is going to be Etho. Ults are popped. Smokey's ult is a little bit too far ahead, though, as the Roadhog is going to push them out of it. No value gained from it. EMP is also going to come through, hack the rest of the remaining members. Artemis is able to get a pick, but it's not going to do much, though, as it was just a Venture. And getting across that halfway point is going to be UAC Vera. UAA looking to respond. This Sombra is just an absolute rat. Even after the update changes. I wish there was a way that we could see the perks that are going on. We do see a perk little symbol on the bottom right above their ammo count, but we don't really exactly know what that perk does, unless you guys are like hardcore gamers of this game. But me personally, I do not. Etho ult's going to come through, results in pulling out the beat, but it's not going to be able to heal them or keep them alive much longer. Trying to keep Smokey alive as she falls through the map, ladies and gentlemen. It appears that we almost lagged out of the game. But in the midst of all of that going on, UAA was able to win the fight with the use of, I believe, 3 ults, or 2 ults rather, as Smokey's was used a little bit prior. But still with 2 ults in our pocket up against the one of the Venture. This is looking very strong for the side of UAA if they're able to use them to perfection. The team is able to regroup. Hog no Hook, rather. going to this next fight, and they're going to push through off the back of the ring. Shout from Junker Queen comes through, and they see Lucio. The eyes from Etho is able to hawk him down, and he finds it. Hopping into the Kitsune Rush. They're able to get the picks needed, but the heals and the Venture ult, unfortunately, are going to be able to do the final dealing damage. Oh, we look so good there for a sec, but the heals just unfortunately weren't able to come through for the side of Etho. On the back of the Kitsune Rush, that Venture ult just came through and just destroyed our backline. I like the regroup here. Going to contest from the back end, stab him in the back. And they're able to get one huge ult from the side of Artemis to take out that Sombra. At least we got one pick. 2-for-2 trade comes through, but that's going to be the tank down. Venture 1v1 with this Kiriko. And now they have to try to regroup and gather the robot. Etho and Smokey are going to come through. Try to do as much damage as possible. Knife comes through to regather that Lucio and is going to face his maker. Etho would love to see the knife percentages on this man, because he is hitting damn near all of them. We've seen this fight happen once before. We've played these games before. Juno ult's going to come through, but the back of Etho has his ult in hand. Could possibly try to go through to deny it, but he's not going to choose to. Opts to save the ult going to the next fight, and it looks like the side of UAA is going to go for the retreat so far. Still only down about 30 meters, so it doesn't matter too heavy, but Lord is unfortunately going to be staggered a little bit with 3 ults in the back pocket, facing up against UAESA's 2 ults. The EMP plus the Hog ult could be a little bit dangerous. But it's time to see exactly how it goes through. Etho trying to line it up, and he's able to hit it, actually, as they're able to pick off 2 because of it. Hog ult is going to come through as well alongside the EMP, and they were able to pull out 2 ults for that push. Despite using 2 of their own, they were still able to win that fight. And now UAC Vera on the back foot now with no ults in concession to try to battle up against this strong roster. Trying to look for this Sombra, and Etho's able to claw her out from the invisibility. Beautiful shots from the side of Etho as he's able to take down that Sombra, stall her out. Death Blossom already in hand for the side of Lord. Really looking for it now. This is going to get this TP up. Very questionable as he's able to almost get this Venture after UAC Vera swapped over to the Tracer. A little bit of a less damage, but we love to see it, however, as that Sombra is fairly annoying. Etho is able to get 2 of his own. Artemis follows it up with 1. That's going to be both supports down. Looking for the eyes of the Hog. That's going to be the next. Venture, last one remaining as per usual. Lord is looking to hawk her down with barely any health remaining. She's going to be able to pick up the mini. Lord still with the shotgun from range. Able to almost get the kill, but he needs to back up now before tunneling. Oh, but unfortunately he dies. He's the only one with the ult in hand, and now he has to face up against a Venture, but they did take the lead. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. UAA is going to have to fall back here before any sort of damage concurs. Maga swap is going to come through alongside the Sojourn ult as that DPS is playing Mystery Heroes. Shots come through, and the Jungle Queen versus the Maga. No Suzu in hand, so Star Chicken is going to have to be able to fall back. Death Blossom coming through, but Smokey is going to fall. This is a pretty decent trade. It is now a 4v4, no Venture, but the trade for the Venture onto the Juno is a little bit questionable. They do have beat to respond to anything, but that is the only thing they have in hand. Venture is fairly far away from this fight as they did not get the close spawn. This uphill battle could prove a little bit hasty for the side of UAA, but it looks like they're going to fight into it, knowing that their ults are building in hand. Still trying to find this Blossom is going to be Lord. He comes through and finds a good opening to try to get onto the Juno. Gets away with his life. Suzu's going to come through. They're looking for the eyes of that Maga. Eyes on Sojourn. She's going to fall too. Maga goes down as well, and UAA is still pushing, trying to get this Venture as well. From the side of Runa Sapi, UAA holds strong with 15 meters in advancements. And with only 30 seconds remaining, they're looking to advance onto a map 4 possibly to try to extend this series. With 3 ults in hand, they have to use this to perfection. still looking for all. Artemis, unfortunately, isn't going to be able to find it. Etho's able to get his and garner a lot of the beat and pull the beat out as well. Purple health from both sides, but it's not able to find anything else. Kitsune is going to come through. Orbital Strike's going to come through, and UAA is going all in for this fight. UAESA to respond. Cage is going to come through, and Maga's looking for anything able to try to contest this fight. Lord as well, battling alongside Etho to try to do as much damage as possible, but that Maga is just keeping them alive. UAA was using all of their ultimates to try to draw out and drain UAC Vera of everything of their own. Now to try to kill up this Maga and the Lucio. They're able to get one, but they have to get out of dodge as quick as possible. 80 meters, and that robot is rumbling. UAA has to hold on here. With limited resources on both teams, this is going to be a battle of the ages. That robot is running, however, and still has to climb about 15 more meters to try to keep them in the game. UAA has to hold here, has to hold the line, and make sure that they can win this match. Ring's going to come through, and they're looking to start things off, start the aggression, and win this match handedly. Smokey starts things off with the pick onto the Soldier, and that was the only one closest to the ult. No ults rest in hand. Lord gets one with the Death Blossom. Artemis follows it up with the next, and Lord cleans it up with two. And UAA wins map 3 to deny the 3-0 sweep. And hopefully climb back with a reverse sweep of our own. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the push map going in hand of UAA with a beautiful game. Unfortunately, not able to look at the scoreboard as of yet. But a beautiful match nonetheless from all of our team. And we'll see you in map 4, ladies and gents. Map 4, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now joining in, UAA is down 2-1, but UAESA Vera took the two first maps, but UAA was able to strike back in map 3 to deny the 3-0 sweep, looking to extend this series and possibly get a reverse sweep. Would be very entertaining and very fruitful for the side of UAA. It's going to start things off on a Saravasa on Flashpoint. Kaiser, however, is going to get that first pick, and the rest of the remaining members are fairly low as the Kiriko is going to fall. And unfortunately for this first affair, UAC Vera is going to lose or win the first battle so far, but that's only the first battle and not the end of the war. UA looking to try to come back. Excuse me, my voice is a little dying here. Gotta get a little bit of water. Now, grouping up on the side door is going to be UAA. Once again, pushing from the side entrance. Waiting for that ring to come through. And it does. Now, alongside the shout, is going to look for the side of the Venture. Looking on this right side before the Venture comes through, and that's going to be cooldowns down. Lord and the remaining members are from the top left, trying to deal as much damage as possible. I like the little bit of a split here that you have with the Farah and the Lord Reapers from the Heavens. And they're able to get two picks of their own, looking to try to secure up on that Lucio, but they do enough damage to just push them off and get a little bit of a reset going, and that's going to stop them at 98%, not 99%, so the overtime does not come through just yet. UAA is able to hold. Beat from the side of UAC Vera is going to come through, however, so it's a little bit hasty here, but Junker Queen v Junker Queen. It looks like Etho is going to get his ult just around the same time. Almost able to secure the kill, but ooh, yeah, I could just see it in his eyes. He wanted to pop that ult, but not able to get the heals that he wanted from his team, unfortunately. And they're actually going to commit their ults here into this fight. As Smoke is able to pop hers, but unfortunately, they're not able to find too many picks off of it. Suzu comes through, and Lord is just popping off, though. He's able to get two of his own. Duck following it up with the next. And despite a very, very grim-looking start to the fight, like I said, they might win the battle, but the war is not over yet, and UAA looks in hand and looks primed to take this first affair. As the Junker Queen, Sojourn, and Lucio ult were all utilized, and UAA still has 4 in the bank. Looking for one last hit is going to be UAC Vera. They attack first and use the orbital strike to come through. Star Trek able to get one, but Duck's going to be able to fall. And after all that work, unfortunately, UAA actually almost loses this bout. Etho's actually last one remaining in. Wow. Just, I mean, just well played. Props to UAC Vera, but UA really had that one there, unfortunately. Falls out of their grasp. And here we go, going to the next point on Saravasa. Lying and waiting for that ring and the shot that comes through. Nice knife that connects onto the Junker Queen. Still trying to look for the final dealing damages. Genji swap that comes through later on is going to do enough damage to take out Artemis. Etho's going to fall as well, and Lord not able to do enough damage on the back of the Kitsune rush. Not exactly. I don't know exactly where the Kitsune went. I sort of missed it, but unfortunately they weren't able to get inside of it enough to reap any of its benefits. I really want to go back and figure out exactly how we lost that first point. That looked like really in our favor, but unfortunately lost out to the Venture ult. Talk about Venture. Venture's going to find a lot of bullets her way. As the death ball of UAA is going to come through. Venture cooldowns down, so she's not able to escape the wrath of Artemis. Death from the Skies is able to come through, but Kaiser in response, his Duck's going to fall, and that's going to be the Junker Queen, I almost said Etho. That comes through, but not able to do enough damage. Unfortunately, Artemis is going to fall. Smokey has the Orbital Strike and is going to use it. Very perfect usage. I actually really like this. Able to come through, and Etho is going to follow it up with an ult of his own. He's able to clean up and get that Juno, and Blossom also comes through to clean things up as well. Don't exactly know if it was needed per se, but they're able to clean up the remaining Junker Queen, as she also has a very strong or very long cooldown to deal with now. But, I mean, we saw this. Hopefully it doesn't mirror exactly what we saw. Caster's Curse going to knock on wood. 98%. UAA was in this position before. But this time around, they have no ults up against the 4.5 ults from the side of UAC Vera. This is going to be a very, very gruesome fight, and they're going to have to play it to a T. General comes through alongside the Blade and the Venture ult. They're only able to capitalize on one so far. Duck's able to get taken out, but they're actually able to stabilize and take things out into their own hands. However, Etho and Artemis are able to fall. Lord's able to TP back on the site and do as much damage as possible. Beat still in hand from the side of Lucio, so they're going to have to pull that out sooner or later, and Lord's just trying to dance as long as possible before he gets eventually taken out. And unfortunately, 3 ults is just a little bit too much to handle, even though they still had 2 in pocket. And just like that, UA is down 2-0. Gonna need to spark one up here to hopefully get and stay alive. Get a point, stay alive here in the Saravasa match. Because now not only are UAC Vera on match point for this map, but they are also on series point. Looking from the heavens, that's going to be the Junker Queen ult utilized from the side of UAC Vera to start things off. Beat also comes through to sustain the rest of the remaining members, and there's just too much damage being dealt. UA is going to fall, and unfortunately, it's going to be the first battle that we've lost. And I mean, we've kind of seen this over and over again, so it's not much of a surprise. Well, it looks like we're dancing in spawn here, waiting for the team to come back. But we have seen this happen multiple times, so it's nothing too much to scoff at. UAA does a really good job at their retakes. Finding the first bloods, UAA has done a really good job at, so hopefully they're able to recreate this magic. Once again, the first blood is going to go to UAA, off to that Venture. Duck's going to fall, however, but Star Chicken on the back of the ult is able to get one to narrow it down to a 2v4. Quick maths. And now UAA is able to take the point. This time not at 98%, however. So a very good job, very good start so far, as we sit at 49%. For the side of UAC Vera, Taxi comes through to get Duck back into the fight. And Kaiser on the other side has played Mystery Heroes for this entire affair, for this entire match. And, I mean, props to the hero pool of Kaiser. He's able to do a lot of damage here. Venture comes through for this fight. Death Blossom is also going to come through on the back of the Kitsune Rush, but only able to garner 1 kill. Etho trying to look for as many picks as possible, dancing in the Kitsune Rush, but is not just able to do anything. Surprisingly, UAC Vera just does a really good job at doing some burst damage, and unfortunately takes out Smokey in the meantime. Now with that percentage rising, UAA with only the Artemis ults, the Barrage from the skies, as well as Orbital Strike coming through. It's going to have to be 2 ults inside UA versus that Venture ult. The backline has to be protected. We saw how dangerous that Venture ult was in the last map. Knives come through, dashes coming through, and slashes everywhere. Artemis trying to find her way into this fight so that she's able to get one. Goes through, is able to get the Venture, but the rest of the remaining members are just falling from the side of UAA. And the overtime ticks, with Etho trying to remain as alive as long as possible, but the Orbital Strike from their Juno just keeps things alive. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, UAA, after a strong map 3, is going to fall 3-1 in this series to an undefeated UAC Vera. Very strong teams. If we want to put it into perspective, UAA had to play 2 of the undefeated teams so far in the back-to-back weeks. But in the coming weeks, though, we are playing teams that are much lower in the standings. So hoping to strike back and push us up into the standings. We could possibly get into playoffs. And hoping to see next week. Or later this week, actually, as today's a Monday. We'll be seeing you guys on Friday for the next match. Hope to see you soon. And thanks for cheering us on, everybody. It's been AK Koda, and we'll see you later.